Have you ever been confused about how much protein you should eat? You look it up and you get three different answers: 0.8 grams, 1.6 grams, 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight, but no one tells you where the numbers come from. Most people pick the highest number because it feels safest, or they give up and guess. And neither one is right. And following the wrong target costs you money, how much food you have to eat, and even in lost muscle if you're not eating enough. I'm going to give you 4 steps to find your real protein target, the number the research backs up. And I'll show you why 2 of the 3 numbers you've seen online are either too high, used wrong, or built to sell you more supplements. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Harry. I have a degree in plant science and I spent the last 10 years in farming and food. And now I run a hemp-based protein brand called Canteen. I spent a lot of time reading the research on protein and hope to clear up some misconceptions a lot of people have. Let's get into it. Number 1, understand where the numbers come from. Before you pick the right target, you need to understand why 3 different numbers exist. They weren't made to answer the same question. The 0.8 grams per kilogram of body mass comes from the old government RDA. That stands for Recommended Daily Allowance. It was made to keep adults who do not move much from getting too little protein. It wasn't made to help you keep muscle or get lean if you train. It's a flaw, not a goal. The 2.2 gram per kilogram number, or the often cited 1 gram per pound, is a gym rule. It got repeated so much it started sounding like science. But the research behind it is thin. And at higher body weights, it gives you a target that's higher than what the studies actually support. The biggest review of studies on this found no extra muscle gain from lifting once you go past 1.6 grams per kilogram per day. To keep the math simple, you can use 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's plenty. It also lines up with the new US dietary guidelines, which gives a range of 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. But just a word of caution, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you need to watch out for gaps. To fix this, you can take supplements or eat a wide range of plant proteins to make sure all amino acids are filled. The problem isn't that the info is wrong, it's that no one told you which questions you were meant to be asking. The question that fits most people watching this: how much protein do I need to keep muscle and recover from training? The answer is 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. It's not the RDA floor, it's not the gym ceiling, it's the number that research backs. However, there is one catch. If your BMI is over 25, or your body fat percentage is over 25%, total body weight isn't the right number to plug in. You'll want to use lean mass instead. That's the next step. Number 2, calculate from lean mass, not total body weight. The 1.5 gram per kilogram of body weight works well if you don't carry much body fat. But as mentioned, if you're over BMI of 25 or over 25% body fat, using total weight gives you a target that's too high. Fat tissue does not use protein the way that muscle does. Say you weigh 100 kilograms or 220 pounds at 30% body fat. Your lean mass is 70 kilograms. At 1.5 grams per kilogram of body mass, your target is 105 grams. But if you use your total weight, the formula would give you 150 grams. That's 45 grams more per day than the research supports. Past that ceiling, a lot of the protein just gets burnt for energy. It doesn't go to building muscle. The easiest way to calculate your lean mass is the US Navy body fat formula. It's surprisingly close for a method that only uses a tape measure. I'll put a link to the calculator below. Once you have your lean mass, times it by 1.5 grams to get your daily target. For most people, that's lower than what the fitness world would tell them, and hitting it is a lot more doable as a result. Now you have the right number, the next step is splitting it up so the protein actually does its job. Number 3, distribute protein across meals to hit your leucine threshold. Hitting your daily total is needed, but it's not enough. How you spread it across meals decides how much of it actually flips the muscle building switch. Each meal needs about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine to flip that switch. Leucine is an amino acid in protein. A meal with 15 grams of protein in most foods won't get you there. Neither will a shake with 10 grams. If you spread your daily total across too many meals, you hit your protein target, but you do not flip the switch. The other way around doesn't work either. Eating 80% of your protein at dinner doesn't make up for the meals that you missed earlier. Past the threshold, the muscle building signal doesn't keep growing with more protein. So split your daily target across 3 meals. Each one should have 30 to 40 grams from a good protein source. At that size, you flip the switch every time you eat, and you get the most signals per day. And the daily total gets easier to hit because no single meal has to be huge. Here's an example. 120 grams of protein across 3 meals is 40 grams each. That's a protein shake and Greek yogurt at breakfast, chicken or lentils and eggs at lunch, and a protein anchored dinner. This way, the target stops feeling like a mountain. You have the target and the spread, but the next one is what most people miss. And it's the one that tells you if you're actually hitting your target. Most people who think they're hitting their protein target aren't. The gap between what people think they eat and what they actually eat is actually one of the most consistent findings in research. Studies show people guess their protein intake too high by about 20 to 30%. The person who thinks they're eating 130 grams per day often is only eating 90 to 100 grams. This is just a common mistake when you guess portion sizes. If you train and you're not seeing the results that you expect, low protein is often the reason. So here's the solution. Track your protein for 2 weeks. Not forever, just long enough to match your gut feeling to reality. Use any food log app. Put in actually what you eat and compare it to your real target. Most people see the gap right away. Once you see the gap, the system runs itself. So here's the system. Skip the 0.8 gram RDA floor and the 1 gram per pound gym rule. The number the research backs is 1.5 gram per kilo of lean body mass. And use lean mass, not total body weight, if you're over 25% body fat. Spread it across 3 meals so each one flips on the muscle building switch. And track honestly for 2 weeks to find gaps between what you think you're eating and what you're actually eating. Now that you know your target, the next question is how to hit it easily every day. I made a video on exactly that, which I'll link right here.